So yeah, so I started my insurance journey about 5 years ago, as a single mom, just looking for a way to take care of my kids and, have a good life. Um, really with no support or really anything. I did it all on my own, coming from nothing. And I don't know, I grew up in Maryland. I was born in Florida, and I have siblings. I mean, I don't know what you guys want to know about me, but
No,
yeah, so I'm just, a person with a life, a normal life. But yeah, so I don't know, what do you want to know exactly?
so I have questions. I definitely have questions. I think the biggest thing for me, Johnna, I see you putting up massive numbers every single month without fail. It's funny because their numbers are so huge. Some of us just want to do that in a month, and you're doing it in a week. I want to know what motivates you every single day to do what you do. What's your
Uh,
main motivation?
well, I just want to have like the best life possible. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do at any time. And I'm just working really hard towards my goals of having like that ultimate freedom, because life is so precious and there's so much to see and experience in the world. And I don't ever want to be like tied to, a job, or like worried about finances, or not being able to have the experiences that I want to have. And, give my children and things like that. So I'm just really, motivated to get really rich, basically.
I know, right? If that's not motivation enough. To ask
Yeah.
you this because you just made me think of something. I know you're a single mom. You said, "Hey, I'm a normal chick. I just had a normal life." Um, are you college educated? Did you go to college?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So you went to college. Obviously, you have your children, grew up in the Maryland, that area, because I'm here in Virginia, so I know all about this DMV area. And you said, I just want to have the best life possible. So you just work hard. And we just, I think sometimes we make it too hard, right? And you just
Mhm.
said it so simply, like, just want to have the best life possible and get
Yeah.
filthy rich. Like,
Right.
why not, right?
That's it.
Yeah. So how did you I know that you said that you've been doing insurance for 5 years. Who introduced you? Like how did that walk us through how that journey started for you, the introduction? Did you wake up and say, you know what, I think I just want to be an insurance agent? Like how did that all come about for you?
Well, so I had a cleaning business, and I had a baby, and my older daughter at the time. So my older daughter was 6, and then I had a baby, and I started a cleaning business. I was pretty much just doing like random jobs in my little town in California where I was living to make money. Trimming weed and whatever, cleaning houses, things like that. But I knew that like I wanted to do more. I just didn't know. Like I always kind of had that like entrepreneurial spirit of like wanting to create something or like do big things, but I didn't really have an avenue. But it got to a point like when I would go on cleaning jobs with my baby on my back, but it got to a point where he got too big, and I was like, okay, well, this really hurts my body, and like I can't, this is not like effective anymore. Like, and I was living in a little like granny unit, one room kind of place with my kids, and I was just like, I got to figure something out. Like, so
Mhm.
I got a 9 to 5 for a little bit at a bank, and I was a teller, and I just absolutely hated it. I just felt like I was being micromanaged all the time, and it was just depressing. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this forever. So I started searching online, and I was a part of this like this group for single moms it's called like Millionaire Single Mom. So I just
Mhm.
asked the group, I'm like, what are things that like single moms can do to earn a lot of money, working from home? And then what somebody told me about insurance, and she was with a different company that I started with. Um, but yeah, she kind of told me about it and told me about the commissions and like how it works. I was like, okay, well, it sounds like I could do that. So I went ahead and got licensed, and And then like God set me up with like this really amazing mentor that was just like right in my area. Like I didn't end up going on with her, and that was a blessing because she wouldn't have been the mentor I needed. But I called the company. I was like, I just, I'm ready to join. I'm licensed now. And they were like, here, let's set you up with this like random guy, in Sacramento that's really close to you. And then he
Wow.
ended up being like this believer like guy whose dad's a pastor, and he was just like had the biggest heart and like just really helped me a ton in the beginning, and held my hand. Yeah. So
Wow. And so, it's funny, my father stays in Sacramento. I was just there this summer.
mhm.
Beautiful town, beautiful city. But how random is it that you got hooked up with the person that you linked up with, who was just a pastor, just humble, I'm sure, good spirit. That's great. Instead of being linked up with some crazy lunatic
Yeah.
person.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
God was definitely looking out.
yes, for sure. Things, I believe sometimes things just happen in divine order the way that they're supposed to.
I can't hear you,
So
Crystal.
I'm excited for you that that did happen that way. So now, one of the questions I wanted to ask was, have you ever been like afraid of this insurance gig? I mean, you started off at one company. Now, of course, you're here with us at Family First Life. You're killing it. You're slaying it. You're the top dog. But I know that sometimes in life journeys, especially in the beginning when you're trying to find your way, find your niche, were you ever like nervous or afraid, especially, you know, you're for lack of better words, out here on your own doing it, Was
Yeah.
did that ever was there anything that ever made you feel that way?
Um, I mean, there were definitely times like for a while where it was a struggle where I was, just kind of getting by with it. But even from the beginning, I mean, my very first week, I wrote policies my very first day, that I went out in the field, and it was
Awesome.
like a huge celebration for me. I was like, dang, I just, made $2,000 like in a day, you know what I mean? So
That
yeah, I mean, my life pretty much instantly changed when I started with insurance because I just basically knew I had control over my income. Like I got a bigger house, you know what I mean? I
hmm
was able to afford the rent there, and and
Yeah,
I was able to work from home. I wasn't leaving my kids anymore. And yeah, so I mean, I always like just felt really good about the opportunity. It was always benefiting me more than any other job I had worked. So I
yeah.
just, I stuck with it.
Yeah, I remember I started off like you, banking and finance background. I worked at the bank. I was never a teller though. Thank you, God. Actually, I had the second probably craziest job. I started off in the call center.
Yeah.
And being in the call center around a lot of people, being in the cubicle, it was like my own little personal office. And even then I said to myself, this is not where I want to stay. So I
Right.
definitely can relate to feeling closed in, especially when you're dealing with the public in
Mhm.
that capacity, because you're not just dealing with the public, you're dealing with the public and their money.
Yeah.
That's a whole different situation. And so I get it. I get where you came from, similar background with that. What are some of the things that you do to help you stay grounded and to take care of yourself? Because, when we have success and when we get to certain levels, yeah, sometimes the head can get a little swollen or maybe even our circle changes. And so some of our old friends that may not understand or be on the same mission and journey that we're on now look at us a
Right.
little different. So what are some of the things that you do to stay grounded and just to take care of Johnna?
I go to the gym, and I do deal with a lot of like stress just with my kids. I have two toddlers that are still on, well, my 3-year-old's pretty much almost potty trained, but I'm still dealing with pee and poop and changing diapers, and like it's a lot, and just like the tantrums and the crying and the fighting. So there's always, a lot going on in my life. And um I do deal with like stress and anxiety, but I feel like I'm finding solutions for those. Like I have, like if I have anxiety, like I have a tincture that I take that works really well for me. Like I'm really into natural medicine, and like I don't know,
Awesome.
like I go to the gym, and like I literally just been like the past couple of days just been praying throughout my workout, just like just getting all that stuff off of me, like when I start the day, so I can just come in and not really have any of that baggage on me. But yeah, I usually get a massage like at least every 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Sometimes every week I'll go get a massage, or I go,
Yeah.
go to the beach by myself for a few hours, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do to kind of manage that.
One of the things early on the beginning of the year when we had the call, I more or less empowered the ladies. I said, in the next 2 weeks, go pamper yourself. Ladies, y'all, I think y'all remember that. But I think it's just so important because we are that species that takes care of everyone else. And so sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. So,
Yeah.
ladies, again, I'm going to send you on a mission that in the next 2 weeks, pamper yourself, go get your nails done, go let somebody else wash your hair. Okay, don't you wash it. Go let somebody else wash your hair. My hair is a big poof right now. Uh, so go let someone else pamper you because you deserve it. Now, I heard you say you have toddlers. How old are your children?
So I have a 14-year-old daughter, an 8-year-old son, a 3-year-old daughter, and a 2-year-old son. So
So
14, 8,
four,
3, and 2.
so four children, and you're in pretty much all the different groups. You got your teenager, your preteen, yeah, you've hit them all. So I just want to tell you, Johnna, as a mother of a 23 and 24-year-old, honey, it don't change. They still have temper tantrums at 23 and 24 years old. They're just older, and you
They're
can
at
just
my
tell,
door yelling right now.
right? I just tell my kids, go get in the car and go somewhere, or I'll get in the car and go somewhere. So now, because of, your journey, you've taken us through your journey. You've told us, kind of how you started, what you're doing. We know that you're thriving, you're killing it in this business. Have you ever been pushed to a point where you just felt like you just wanted to quit?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Um,
What made you
yeah,
not
I mean,
quit? What made you stay?
what'd you say?
I said, what made you not quit? What made you stick and stay?
Because I know, that emotions and feelings are temporary, So, yes, I went through like the first quarter of this year, I went through some stuff that was really hard. I, had to change agencies to, make some big transitions, things like that. And to be honest, like my production is behind right now from where it was, where my goal was. Um, because I had to just chill out for a few months because I was just burnt out on running freaking appointments every day. I was burned out on
Mhm.
talking about mortgage protection. I was burned out on dealing with people and just, a lot of things about this industry and, some of the crappier people that are in it. So I just like
Mhm.
had had my time there. But yeah, I mean, I knew that that would eventually pass and, I just took care of myself in the meantime and tried not to worry too much about, losing half of my savings and all that, but it was fine. Here we are again and peaks
Exactly.
and valleys.
Yeah. Hey, look, some of those strolls on the beach will do wonders for sure. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about not giving up, right? You're gonna go through
And
things, but as long as push through the hard parts, you'll make it to the other side.
I like what you said. You hit it right on the head. Emotions and feelings, they are temporary. And we
Mhm.
as women, we have that's something that we deal with all the time. We're emotional beings. And a lot of times, because of our emotions, we may get in our feelings, someone may make us feel some sort of a way. We sometimes have reactions and make permanent decisions just based off of one incident or one thing that happened. So I'm glad that you said that, and I'm glad that you took that time to realize that, hey, it is just temporary. Let me just go, let me reset, and then boom, I can now move forward and do everything that I need to do. So ladies, I hope you're taking notes. I definitely got that because that is definitely key. Thanks, Johnna, for that tip, that reminder. Who would you say is your mentor, the person you look to that's in a leadership role that is your mentor that you look up to?
Um, well, I have a couple friends that like that I consider like business friends that, have that are maybe a little more like well-versed in certain areas of business than I am, you know, and I get advice from them. I don't wouldn't necessarily call them mentors, but I would say they contribute, you know, valuable information to me about business. Um, like spiritually, I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel like I necessarily have a mentor right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of just,
You
you know, I talk to people that I trust that I know can like give me sound wisdom and advice when I need it, but it's more like my friends or, you know, people in my life that I trust.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mhm.
That's important. Your core is so important. What would
Yeah.
you say? Because let me just go back for a second. Number one earner in national on average, your monthly average, what do you do each month on average? I have a number,
Um,
but I don't know if I'm right. Go ahead.
yeah, it's been about 100,000 lately.
100K. And
Mhm.
so right now, have you hit the million yet this year?
No, as I'm saying I'm behind. I don't know if I'm gonna hit it this year. We'll see.
Okay. Um, so 100K a month. How many appointments roughly would you say you run a day on your work day?
About 15 to 20.
And they're all telesales?
Yeah, and Zoom.
Mhm. And so 15 appointments roughly a day. And are you working 5, 6 days a week, 7 days a week?
Um, I work 5 days a week.
About 5 days a week. Okay.
So I want 10
So,
million. I need to do 6, but
so girl, you fine. I'm here to tell you, you are fine. 100K a month. I think you're okay. 15 appointments, on average a day, 5 days a week. Yeah. So leads into my next question. What are some strategies and tips that you can give us regarding your work ethic? Because that's a lot. And you're a single mother of 4.
Mhm.
So what are some strategies that you can give us? Because where you're tracking, and even though you said you're behind, you're ahead of all of us. And for many of us, you're where we want to be and we're striving to be. But I know I was submitting my weekly numbers this week, and I had a fantastic week this week. And
Right.
I looked, and I think I did like 45 appointments between last week and this week. And according to you, that's 2.5 days of work that you would have done in comparison to what I've done. So, strategies, tips, what do you have for us ladies on your work ethic? Like how are you being that superwoman that you are?
Well, I kind of realized at some point a couple years in how this business really works. You know, it's like at a certain point, I just had to let go of my fears of investing in my business and go all in with like getting a crap ton of leads. And like that's
Mhm.
what I did. And when I got a lot of leads, I got a lot more appointments. Go figure. A lot more appointments added up to a lot more AP. So you know, that was there just kind of came a point where I stopped being afraid to buy leads and I started like just buying a lot. And then that's when my business changed, you know, and then, you know, working, I got help with dialing. I mean, I wouldn't say that I was always had the best work ethic when it came to dialing. I didn't like dialing was hard for me. I would, you know, get tired. I would want to go eat snacks or like make coffee and, you know, take a nap. And it was just, you know, it was
Mhm.
tough. But but I mean, I know that there are people who came into this industry and did extremely well, you know, only being here for less than a year because they had very outstanding work ethic on the phones where they would get up and dial from 5 a.m. all the way till 8 p.m., you know, from on the Pacific coast. So like yeah, I think that it's really important to I mean, I can't say that I necessarily had the best dialing work ethic. I did get a dialer and that like helped me get the amount of appointments that I needed to supplement my own dialing.
Mhm.
But but I think it's really, really important to have good work ethic on the phone because if you are like just taking a bunch of breaks and being lazy and you know or like just getting emotional or whatever, tired, you're gonna have to kind of work through that and just pound the phones basically as hard as you can and buy as many leads as you can. So, whatever you have to do for yourself to get yourself in a mental place to be able to do that, I would recommend doing it. Maybe it's going to the gym or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. But yeah, it really does just come down to like hard work and betting on yourself, risking and, buying leads. It's tried and true.
No, I like what you said. Hey, bet on you. I have a morning motivation that we do on our call every morning in the Success Lounge. And that's one of the things that we talked about yesterday. And I was like, hey, no matter what, bet on yourself, go all in for yourself, because I know for me, Crystal, like there's no other Crystal. There may be other people that have my name, but I'm the only unique person that can do and bring to the table what I can bring to the table. So bet on me. I'm a bet on me every single time. So I'm happy
Mhm.
that you said that. And then of course, going back to the emotional piece, right? We're so emotional. You know,
Yeah. Hard.
and I love what you said about the snacks. Like I'm gonna get up and go get a snack. Like I'm gonna let me just go get up and do this. And then on
Yeah,
the
get
way
some
back,
tea. I need
oh,
tea now.
yeah, right. So you know what? Let me go and throw this little bit of stuff in the laundry, or just clean. It's that long walk back to the desk gets to be crazy. So we have to focus, and sometimes because as women, our brains are all over the place. Focusing is just a challenge in itself. My
Mhm.
last question, and we'll kind of wrap up with this because again, I had it all split up to where we're going to have two speakers, and now you're the solo person, so we'll have to bring April back in another day. And ladies, I just want to put it out there: if you're praying people, if you're believers, please, just let's pray for one another and uplift one another, because a lot of people in different areas were hit by the hurricane and the bad weather storms that we've had down here in the southeast. Um, April's family was one of them, and then her child also ended up getting sick and is in the ER right now. So please just send good thoughts up for her and her family, and just for all the families. We've seen a lot of things on the news. There have been a lot of lives that have been lost. And again, this is one of those things that we can't predict. But guess what? We're in the death business, right? And so now I'm thinking, like, I hope those families were protected. I hope they were able to cover themselves, right? Because that is all of our jobs. We're all agents, or we have some ladies up here that want to be agents. Maybe they're studying for their test, and that's what we do. We're in the business of making sure that those families left behind are protected. So please keep her in your thoughts and in your prayers. Okay, I want to end with this. What would you say, Johnna, is, what is one thing that you would tell us above and beyond, I guess, what you've already said, as to how would you encourage these women here on Thrive Tonight? We have over 50 ladies up here that have all tuned in, taking a little break from their schedule, they're dialing, maybe they're getting off work, maybe they're riding home, maybe they're cooking dinner, I don't know. But they jumped
Mhm.
on Thrive Tonight to hear you. So what would you give as parting words of encouragement for the ladies on the call here tonight?
Well, I think, a lot of times as women, we think way too much. Like we're just too much in our head and our emotions and worrying and things like that. And I think that, you kind of have to put on your man entrepreneur hat and just like really get after this business. Like really like just follow the system that we have here and just do what everybody, what the top producers do. And these people, people who are top producers, they're not thinking like 9 to 5ers. They're thinking like entrepreneurs, like business owners. So, it's a different mindset. So I think, you kind of have to fake it till you make it. You
Mhm.
kind of just put on a different persona other than the one that you're used to being every day, and just say, okay, I am that boss, business owner. Like I'm showing up today like that, and I'm going to handle my business. I'm going to, do what I need to do to make this work, and stop at nothing until you're hitting the goals that you want to hit. If that's 10,000 a week submit, like make sure you're spending 2,000 a week on leads, and you're spending 10 hours a day on the phone minimum to book those appointments, and don't settle for anything less. So,
Mhm.
I mean, that's what it really comes down to is, like faking it till you make it is really a big thing. Like, just carrying yourself in a different kind of way that says, I am that girl. Not gonna use bad
Yeah.
words. I'm the bitch.
That's
Okay.
right. Hey, we are snap it up, y'all. So we do have a few questions. That's right. Hey. We
Yeah,
have,
you guys are free to ask me questions. I know that we
yeah,
have extra questions
let's
coming
go
up,
to
so.
the chat. Got a few questions in here. Okay, so the first question is which products do you prefer to sell? What do you prefer to sell or talk to
So
your
I've
clients about?
I've been selling Americo like as my go-to for a couple years now, for a couple reasons. Obviously, it's instant decision, instant issue, which
Mhm.
means you get the person covered immediately. You get paid quickly, which is critical for your business because don't forget you are running a business, and even though we want to take care of the people that we're helping, we also have our families to take care of too.
Mhm.
So, don't always be so self-sacrificing. Think about your family too. Like we need to get you paid. Don't be like writing National Life Group and Transamerica because you're not going to get paid writing those products as your primary products. Only use those if you have to.
Right.
Um, yeah, because cash flow is key, so you can keep buying leads because leads are expensive. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Next
so
question is do you have a team and how long were you in the business before you started building if you do have a team?
sure. And the one other thing I wanted to say too about the product choices I've been using, guys, is I switched from writing like CBO 100s and term products to just strictly writing Americo IULs for mortgage protection, and my persistency has gone up like 10%.
Oh,
So,
great.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
We're
been
so happy that America has the IUL now, man. That has with the instant decision, what?
Mhm.
That has changed a lot of things. So that's great.
Yeah. Now, as far as team building, I just recently, since I moved over here to FFL National a few months ago, I got serious about building my team. I've been using the recruiting campaign that we have over here. It's absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend it to everybody. I'm getting a lot of qualified, applicants. So yeah, I've recruited like 40 people in the past few months.
Oh, wow. Good
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah,
Nice.
they just book on my calendar and I just call them throughout the day when I'm running my appointments, and the ones that I like, I just bring them on and they're ready to go, most of them.
Awesome. That's awesome. So the recruiting campaign, ladies, buy into it, especially if you're serious about building your team. Now, another question, how many leads do you purchase a week to maintain your 100,000 a month? What would you say? How much do you spending roughly in your leads?
Um, it kind of varies, but I would say it's around like 5 to 6,000 a week on leads that I spend.
Gotcha. And that's what's helping you keep that six figures a month. Of course, and booking those a lot of appointments every single day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
And I think
spend
you mentioned,
I guess about 25,000 on expenses, and I deposit about like 80,000, I would say, at this level per month.
awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
So hey, then that's definitely your net profiting is definitely great. It's good. You're not under. What do you
I still don't
do?
know where all my money goes, but
Girl, you got 4 kids. That's it. That's it. This is over.
they eat it all.
Exactly. What do you do best to overcome the tons of objections that come about? And I'm thinking they're talking from your clients because you're on the phone so much. We know that you probably hear a lot of objections. So what do you do to overcome those type of objections? Yeah. Or,
Um,
do you have a lot of them? Because I'm pretty sure now that you hit that skill level, because I know the more you talk, the more appointments that you have, you should be, the better skilled you are in the upcoming or mitigating those objections. But I'm gonna let you answer.
I still deal with objections all the time. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of people who some of them know what mortgage protection is and they know that they need it. Other people are like, why the F are you calling me? So it's like, I had a bunch of jerks today. I don't know what today was. Today was just like the day of jerks for me. But um But yeah, I just, there's only so many objections, and when you are running so many appointments, you kind of like just figure out how to handle them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like there's like a couple handfuls of objections we come across, and like you kind of get to a point where you just like know what they all are and like how to handle them. But at the end of the day, not everybody, that's why it's so important to have a lot of leads and a lot of appointments, because there's just going to be people who don't want to buy insurance today. You know what I mean? And like you have to just accept that sometimes and like
Yeah.
just set your schedule up for success.
Right. That's one of the things I tell my team all the time. Every lead is not a sale. You know, it's just not. You got to go through the numbers. Now, do you prefer digital or mailed? Do you do mortgage protection leads? And if so, do you prefer the digital or the mail leads? That's a
Yeah, I
question.
do mortgage protection. And I've been like running my system with the mailers. Like I have two dialers. I just run appointments. I don't dial my own appointments. So I have two dialers that book for me, and I've just been running the same system with the mailers. So I think, they're working great for me. I'm not gonna change what's working for me, but I know the digital leads are really good as well. So
Awesome.
I'm putting
What's
all my new agents on vet leads.
okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, what system and resources or tools do you use that help you with your production and consistency? Yeah, that's key. Yeah.
Mm, it's just the way that I like lock down my appointments. I guess the things that I say, the way that I build value throughout the appointment, the way that I explain the products, make sure that, we're connecting on the same level. Like, okay, this is really good for you. Like, this is a good thing for
Mhm.
you to have. It's a good investment. So, yeah, I would say it's just different like things that I say and the way I describe the products and the way that I like tie down the appointments to make sure that they, don't cancel very often.
Mhm. And that's like in the appointment and getting the appointments. And so once you have gotten the sale, like how are you able to ensure or help, or are you doing anything to ensure that they stay on the books? I think
Yeah,
that's what
so
she's getting.
so the way that I lock it down, for instance, like if I write an Americo IUL to cover a mortgage, I'll say,
Mhm.
okay, congratulations, Crystal, you got approved for the plan. So you'll get your policy in the mail in about 7 to 10 business days. It looks like this. See, I have one here that I can show them.
Mhm.
It looks like this. So be on the lookout for that. When you get it, make sure you keep it in a safe place and your beneficiaries know that you have it. If you get any other letters in the mail about mortgage protection, you can just disregard those. You don't have to respond to them. If anybody else calls you about it, just let them know you got it all taken care of. Sometimes they will try to say things to make you think you have to talk to them. They'll say things like your file was flagged for review, or the underwriter made a mistake and they need to come look at it or fix it, things like that. None of that's true. um, I didn't make any mistakes. If you have any questions about your policy, you can call me directly. I'm the only person that you need to talk to about the mortgage protection. This policy is the most comprehensive coverage with a company that specializes with the mortgage protection, because they have the 100% for death, terminal illness, critical illness, chronic illness, and permanent insurance with the cash accumulation. So you got the very best thing, for this that you can get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, perfect. All right. Well, now that we got you approved, you're stuck with me. I'll be your agent for life. So any future insurance needs, just give me a call. And did you guys have any further questions for me? They'll say no. Okay. Were you happy with my service today? Yes, we were happy. Okay, great. Have a great day. Bye-bye. So
Awesome. Clap it up for Johnna, y'all. You know what? Your verbiage, you got it down. You got the verbiage down. And I think that's the key. Knowing your product and then just knowing how to communicate it out and just being real firm, being and affirming in your tone. So that was awesome. I like the way you went through that. And so you really kind of answered the next question. Okay, what would you say to the newbies on how to start, or the best way to start your business to see success right away?
um well, do they have money or do they don't have any money? Because
Uh, that's a question,
if
right?
you're a
So
newbie
have
without
money.
money, you
Yeah.
gotta figure out a way to get some money so you can buy leads. Like you need to buy leads. It's not going to work if you don't have leads. So I took out credit cards to buy leads in the beginning. Um that was just me betting on myself. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
Yeah, with money, I would say just make sure you know your scripts, make sure you're spending time on Zoom, going through your scripts, like, just make sure you have a solid system that you put together before you get started and that you feel, you kind of have an idea of objection handling and that you kind of really understand your products and what you're doing, what you're offering, just have a very good understanding of what your job is to help these people, and then just go all in, just buy leads, buy as many leads as you can and go to work. My brand new agent, I've known her for 15 years, since we were 20 years old. We met in college. She is a single mom of 5 children, and she just started this past week, and she wrote 4,000 on vet leads. Because she's just been
Sweet.
watching me, and she's been diligent about, studying what you're supposed to do in this job, and she just went to work. She didn't think too much about it. She just knows she needs to take care of those kids, and she made 4,000 her first week. So
Awesome. Well, do you have any recommendations on books to help with mindset, sales, business, any things that's changed for you or helped you? Anything
um
on to take on that?
I'm not too much of a reader. I am actively trying to improve that. As much as I put books in front of myself, I can never seem to find the time to actually read them, but
I was about to say you're doing
I listen to
15
audiobooks sometimes.
points. Yeah, you're doing 15 points a day. Now you want me to read? Okay. I got
Yeah, I really like the book The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman
you.
Vincent Peale. It's one of my favorites. I listen.
Classic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's classic. Yeah. My parents read that book and it's still like relevant
It's
today,
like a
which
mantra.
is
It's like you can just listen to it over and over again, and it'll just like speak to different parts of your spirit every time you listen to it. It's so good.
awesome. What is your
Mhm.
average daily close rate out of the 15 plus appointments that you have daily? What would you say is your average close rate on those?
Um, it depends. I mean, some days are hot where I'll close like 6 appointments, like 7 appointments. I'll just close like everybody. And then some days I'll only close one, or so. I mean, it varies, but I would say about 50% show up, and I typically close about like half of those,
Okay, awesome.
25%.
Okay. And the dollars, do you somebody's asked a question about the dollars. Do you pay them like hourly or the 1099? I guess how do you set that up for your dollars?
Um, no, I don't do 1099s for them. I just pay them hourly by PayPal. They're in the Philippines, so I
Hmm.
don't how they do taxes over there, but and my tax guy just handles my stuff, so it's just a write-off. But yeah, they're great. I mean, I feel like that's another area where God has been good to me with getting me like good dialers who have been very devoted to me, and they're kind of like my cheerleaders. Like we're a very good team, So
Hmm.
yeah, it's been really good. And since I've gotten busier too, I've also I hired an assistant a couple months ago, and that's been a game changer because she, focuses on my policy retention. She helps me take care of like, you know, requirements on the policies, things like that. So she's just kind of like on top of the tedious stuff that I don't have time for, and that takes a lot of pressure off of me. Yes, I train the dialers. I mean, they're
Yeah.
pretty much like pretty trained now. I used to train them like once a week, but everything is kind of good now. So I mean, every once in a while we have like a little refresher, but yeah, they're pretty solid.
And
Um,
this is something that, I love. Thank you for your transparency and talking about dollars. But ladies, I will tell you this. If you can't close on your own, and if you can't dial on your own, in the
don't do it.
words of Frank, Mike, and every other Hall of Famer out here that I know, don't get the dollar. Don't pay for it because you want to make sure your skills are up because yes, you will have to train those dollars. And you need to
Yeah, it
make sure
takes a
that
couple months. It takes a couple
yeah.
months where you're gonna have to pay them every single week. And if you're not I think the general rule of thumb is if you're submitting 10,000 a week in business and getting most of that issued, then that's a good time to think about getting a dialer because you're having a decent enough amount of cash flow that you can make that investment. And that you're also performing well enough on your own that you can train them.
Hmm. Yeah. And then are most of your appointments on Zoom or on the phone? How do
Like
you structure your
50/50.
appointment? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It's like 50-50. My dialers will book them for like for phone calls or for Zoom, just depending on, like, they always offer Zoom first, but if they get pushback on Zoom, then they just say it's okay, we'll just do a phone appointment.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Think that's it. Do you use the CRM that we have with National?
I paid for it for like 3 months, but I never set it up. So no,
Yeah.
I don't use it yet. I want to use it, but I just can't seem to wrap my brain around actually getting it set up. So
Gotcha. But
I'll
your
figure it
dial,
out soon enough. I can probably
yeah,
get my assistant to help with it, but yeah.
yeah. You're like, oh, one more thing. How do you
Mhm.
train your new agents? And then we'll wrap it up. Yep. I know
I just
you're building a team, so you're just getting into that. So can you take
yeah.
that?
I just tell them to like watch me run appointments live. Like I have them go into like one of the breakout rooms and watch me live a lot. I feel like because that was like the best way that I really learned, because so much about this business is like your posture and your presentation and your word tracks and how you handle objections. So I feel like the best way to learn is to watch a top producer doing it, because you're just, when you watch that repetition over and over again, you're just going to start to find yourself saying the word tracks that you saw that, top producers say. You're going to start carrying a posture. You're just going to start imitating what they're doing. So that's why, it's really important to be on dial team. And I'm on there a lot, running appointments live in the breakout rooms, and hardly anybody's ever in there. So I mean, you know
Yeah.
just you guys can get on there.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Johnna, for
Mhm.
taking this time out. I know you are super busy. I know I tried to get you before and it was like, I think you're traveling, you're doing something. I said, man, if I get her before the end of the year, I'll be happy. So thank you so much for joining us on Thrive.
Thank
Ladies,
you so
let's
much.
clap it up. Yeah, absolutely. Look, heck yeah. I know you're gonna be, are you gonna be in Florida for Ignite in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'm speaking at Ignite
Awesome.
on how, and my topic is how to be $1 million producer.
There we look, ladies, you got it here. Please drop in the chat and let all of National know that we got the nuggets here first, because we are Thrive and we are fierce, and that is what we do. Boom. I'm super excited. Johnna, I'm going to chase you down, girl, and Ignite. I'll definitely be there. Looking
Okay.
forward to seeing you. Yes, it's going to be awesome. That's the plug. If you're going to be at night, please come check us out. If you see me and if I've never met you, definitely come give me a hug, see me. Also, ladies, please put your phone number, or actually, you know what? Let me do this. I do have a ladies group in the WhatsApp. It's called Ladies of FFL. If you want to join the group, please text me your name. Everybody that got added last week, I've already added you. I send motivational stuff out. Um, try to at least every other day or so. And then I also send updates on our Thrive Thursdays as well. But please just shoot me a text with your name, and then I can add you to the Ladies of FL group chat in the WhatsApp. Thank you so much again, Johnna. Please be sure to follow Johnna on IG. I already follow her at Johnna.Kamara. And she's right there on IG. I'm super excited for what you're doing, Johnna. You are paving the way for ladies. The ladies are definitely coming up. We have a lot of ladies that are doing fierce and phenomenal things. And as always, we want to see you thrive. I look forward to seeing you guys next month, everybody. Thank you. Don't forget to text me your number if you want to be a part of the ladies group in the WhatsApp. Thanks, everybody. See you next month,
All right.
or
Good
see
night,
you at
everybody.
the end of the month in Florida. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.